Hello, I am Ryan Sum, and this is my immigration story and some of the things I noticed about immigration and immigrants. My mom and dad grew up in Guangzhou, China. It is in the Guangdong province, and the city is about a 2 hours train ride from Hong Kong. Being from Guangzhou, which was formerly known as Canton, my family speaks Cantonese. Makes sense. Cantonese is also spoken in places like Hong Kong and Macau. My dad had relatives in America already, so he immigrated in 1996 to Boston, Massachusetts, and would fly back and forth from Boston to Guangzhou to meet with my family. My mother and me immigrated to America in 2002. At that time, I was at the age of 3. Like most families who immigrate to America, we would arrive and live in Chinatown. My family lived in an apartment there, and it was okay. It was above a bakery, and though it wasn't the best, it was sort of cozy. And we were in a neighborhood where we were quite familiar with. So we lived there for a while, and eventually we moved to Mission Park, which is where I live today. And recently my family has been looking at maybe moving again. So one day I was with my mother, and we were looking through condos, and one caught my mom's eyes. She was pretty interested in it. And when I saw it, I suddenly remembered just something about that area was familiar to me. The condo is not fully built yet; it's still being constructed. And when I took a look at the area and the buildings around it, I suddenly remembered this seminar/event I volunteered to help in the past. There they talked about gentrification in Chinatown, which is what I would like to bring up in this hotspot video. And one of the areas they talked about was apartments near Hudson Street, and how families and people who live there are being evicted because they're building condos, and the houses that they live in aren't really nice to look at, so they kind of just buy them up and maybe bulldoze them. So families that are like mine are pretty much being evicted from their homes, and at that time I was like, they're not that different from me, and I could have been one of them. The families being evicted from that area probably don't have anywhere to really go, considering how Chinatown is really populated as there is. It might be hard to find another place around that area to live, and which that's a problem because a lot of families do actually work in that same area. And I don't really know what to say about this exactly, but there are some questions I would like to ask. What are some of the difficulties immigrants face when they arrive in a new country? And do we have some responsibility to immigrants and their families?